I think when I did the podcast at Sky, it was a couple of days after we'd heard. I don't think it felt real then. I think it feels real now. And it's just such a tragedy. Such a great guy. Even just talking to people around, he was such a funny guy. You know what I mean?
Blood him back,
it does. He was a great fighter. There's no. Everyone talks about him being the man of the people, which he was. But it's very easy to forget he was an unbelievable boxer, great fighter. I mean, even when he was coming through 10 fights in his first year, and he was just, he stole the show. Every fight he was on, he was an unbelievable talent, an unbelievable work ethic. As a young fighter coming through, looking up to him, he was a fantastic role model in how he trained, how he conducted himself with the media and other people. And you just thought he was someone that was going to flourish post-boxing because he had so much more to him. He had such a great personality, and I know his after-dinner speaking, he was on the level of a stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? He was that funny. He really was, and not just pre-scripted. He was funny off the cuff, quick one-liners. Great, always come back at you. So, very sad.
Ian Darke commentated on some of Hatton's biggest fights during his career, including his first world title fight against Costa Tszyu in 2005.
This is a guy who took, 30,000 people, they say, to Las Vegas to see him fight. His first fight was at Widnes, and somebody had told us, somebody in the camp said, it'd be worth you hanging around to watch this guy at the bottom of the bill tonight, Ricky Hatton. And his fight got delayed and delayed. It was 25 to midnight. We were off the air, and we thought, we might as well hang around and look at this kid. He's won the ABA championship. He might be something, but you hear that kind of hype a lot of times about a lot of fighters. But you could see even then that he had a kind of explosive, volcanic kind of way with him in the ring. He was marquee value really from the word go, and became, of course, massive box office. Everybody was waiting all the time for the big fight, the big one, and the big one, of course, was Costa Tszyu, who was probably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, or certainly in the argument for that.
The dream is made real! Ricky Hatton rocks the world with a truly stunning win over a modern legend. He is the champion of the world. The Hitman really has arrived in the big time.
Ricky wasn't favourite that night. No way was he favourite. But I'll tell you something, the way he prepared for that fight, not just because he was pumped up, he had a brilliant technical plan devised by Billy Graham, his trainer. Billy Graham, the preacher, they called him, used to keep snakes in his gym.
I think one was called Liston, wasn't it, at the back office?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think iguanas used to go around the gym. But it all worked, and they had a great plan. And I think, he walked through walls that night, and I don't think anybody could have beaten him. It was a moment in a fella's life. And it was a privilege to just provide a bit of the soundtrack for it.
There's only one word I can use for your support tonight, and that was legendary. God bless you all. I mean it.
He's become a cliche, man of the people, but I don't remember another fighter who was that accessible to his public as Ricky. He'd win a fight one night, and the next day he'd be in the pub singing karaoke songs and sinking Guinness. And eating as much junk food as he could get his hands on. It wasn't a conventional life of a championship fighter, but it worked for him at that time.
Everything goes beyond boxing with Ricky. He's just a sweet guy. And it's funny because he was such a ferocious fighter that away from the ring you had this guy who was just like everybody's friend. And it was, it's just, obviously it's a privilege to have known him. But and to have documented the stuff, but like I said, everything is beyond boxing with Ricky. It's about who he is as a person and what he did, and uniting the city, uniting the country, taking all those fans to Las Vegas, all those magical nights. Like Ricky is far bigger than boxing, and and his legacy is just unmatched. It's completely unparalleled. When you wind up with those great days and nights in Las Vegas. And you look at where it all started. It's absolutely insane, but that was Ricky's journey. That was Ricky's journey, and it was a one-off, and it won't be replicated because we've never had anything like it before. And I know that we talk about the British greats and Ricky's name being amongst them, but there's a degree of separation between Ricky and all the rest of them for how the nation felt about him and how other nations felt about him. You still go and cover fights in Las Vegas now, and all the fans and all the supporters and all the people in boxing say, oh, we've never had nights like those Ricky Hatton nights, and we're 20 years on.
Just off camera, we'll make his way now.
Billy Graham.
Billy Graham, the man that was synonymous with that Hatton journey.
Chain couch.
And I'm delighted, Craig, that he is here.
Absolutely right. I think, you know, we've spoken, yes, there were fallings out in years past, and there were fractured relationships, but thankfully, Derek are good to see him as well. But so many people close to Ricky talked about the necessity for healing to happen, and
Lee Bingham.
What a great fight, Manchester fighter he was, who came up with Billy Graham as well, world title challenger. Great left hook he had.
Carl the Cat Thompson as well. Good to see Carl.
What a warrior, my goodness. There's some great figures from the past, but yes, incredibly poignant to see Billy here. Anyone who's watched the documentary knows the story, knows of the difficulties and the breakup between him and Ricky, and the fissure between him and maybe the Hatton family in more general terms. But surely this is a time for healing and honouring Ricky Hatton's legacy by bringing that healing.
Very well said. Correct me if I'm wrong, my maths is terrible. I think Jane Couch and Ricky were inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same year.
Right.
So it's nice that she walked in with Billy Graham. If my maths is slightly off, please forgive me.
I mean, yeah, it's from down the road as well. Lancashire lass, the Fleetwood assassin, as she called herself.
I just want to show you the pictures there, Craig. The Manchester gloom is back slightly as the funeral cortege, I think, starts to make its way closer to the city centre now.
Is that Robin Reid there?
Yes, Robin Reid I saw come through, who topped the bill on the
Wayne
day.
Rooney with him, on his phone, yeah. But with a lot of boxing background in his family too, of course, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, that is Wayne. Yeah, I can see his face now. Wayne Rooney, who was a Red, but he obviously walked Hatton to the ring as well, famously.
That's right. I mean, they all have respect. The bottom line is,
I can see Paul Smith there.
They all respect
the whole Smith
Ricky
family.
Hatton and what I think, is there a sportsman in Britain who does not doff his cap to the achievements of Ricky Hatton? I don't think so, Ben Ransom.
No, I really don't think so. And it's, Wayne Rooney is a man who obviously played football at the very elite level, but loves his boxing. We've seen him in so many dressing rooms post-fight. He'd turn out for so many different events, but exactly that. I think great recognises great, doesn't it? And I think Wayne Rooney certainly recognised being a lad from this part of the world, albeit from Liverpool, but came here, let's not forget how young he was when he joined Manchester United, and growing up in that era and seeing people like Ricky, fellow working class heroes, blazing a trail at the very top level and being elite sportspeople.
Some of the Smith brothers arriving as well. Paul Smith there, I think is going to...
Paul, I don't know if you want to talk. We're live on Sky Sports, so I know you've got some invites to give out. And forgive me, these might be the first time, Callum Simpson as well, these might be the first time that you've seen these funeral pictures. The fans have come out, the Ricky Hatton fans that we've seen around Hyde, we've seen the Cheshire Cheese, the pubs, everything. Wayne Rooney as well. I don't want to keep you. How are you, first off? Because I think we've had Matt Macklin on. You shared some unbelievable times in that Phoenix camp with Billy Graham. And I think for every sad story that you're going to tell, there is a brilliant, hilarious one as well. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. It's sad. And we've just been in a car driving up, the four of us, and in between the laughs and jokes about the stories, it's like we shouldn't be driving here. We shouldn't be coming in for this. I used to drive that drive every day to Manchester, every weekday, there and back, 45 minutes both ways, just to be in the same gym as someone like Ricky. As a person, you knew him, so you know, as soon as I mention him, you smile, and that's what we've all probably got to try and remember, the smiles, the good times, the laughs. He was comical, but an unbelievable fighter, unbelievable special fighter. A lot of people call him a brawler. He was so much more than that. He was special, he was talented and an unbelievable fighter.
Yeah. What was it like actually training with him? you came as a group, didn't you? That Phoenix camp, you all sort of, where you come for one, you come for us all. But Matt Macklin was also telling us brilliant jokes as well. You know, a real joker in the pack.
Yeah, he was. I've had family parties in Liverpool and he's turned up in a woman's dress. He's just like, I've had nights out in Liverpool with him where he's turned up and he was special. He was a one-off, he was a character, and I think this will be sad now.
A very moving hour we've spent in there and hearing from the family and everything else. It's maybe sinking in now, just the loss that everyone has.
It was an amazing send-off for an amazing person, and I think you always expect this, but then you come out here, it's like going to one of his fights back in the day, the turnout, and he's he'll always be Manchester's favourite son, and I'm glad he got a send-off fit for a king.
How important was he personally to what you were able to achieve in the ring?
He was my childhood hero. I was lucky enough he then become a mate, but he inspired a generation. He did, I think. There was a time where not just every kid around Manchester who boxed, but a kid around Britain who wanted to be Ricky Hatton. He wanted to be the next Ricky Hatton. Whether they tried to fight like him, they had the long shorts like him. That was it, the impact he had.
Some sort of memorial, you sense, what this city will have to make to him?
There's got to be. There's got to be. He gave this city, I don't mean just in sport, he gives this city some of the best nights they've ever had and they ever will have.
Well said. Thank you very much. Lovely seeing you.
8 times together over the years, every single year we met up and had a great time. He was a great character, what a lad he was, and don't judge him, just enjoy what he did.
How good of a person he was, for someone who rose to the levels of Ricky Hatton, and to remain just one of the normal people is unbelievable. The best thing memory I have was going to the gym watching him train for the first time. I was an amateur boxer at the time, just won an ABA title, and I watched him train, and I've watched thousands of fighters train over the years, hundreds, thousands, and after watching him, it's the only fight I've ever been thought of, and I've been in awe of him and thought, that's the standard. He's the standard. Everything he does, whether it was strength and conditioning with Kerry Kays, whether it was body bag with Billy, whether it was jumping a bar, he was the standard. And that's the one thing that stands out with the boxing. He worked tremendously hard and was just one of the best people I've ever got to know and meet.
Not surprising to me because he was such a star, he was such a great human being. I'm up here with my 2 boys because he demands the sort of respect that a hero in boxing demands, and he's an amazing guy, and he was a phenomenal fighter and just incredible. Brought people together, so amazing.
Despite being really humble, a massive inspiration as well.
Without a doubt, yeah, to young kids, really amazing, fabulous.
I think some of the best memories are just, having a laugh outside of the ring, to be honest. I travelled the world to see him when he fought Mayweather and Pacquiao. And yeah, their fights, people in their prime at their best, and he took the challenge regardless of what he thought the result was going to be, and that's a testament to the style of fighter he was and the person that he was.
Yeah, what was he like as a person, as a man?
He was very humble. He never forgot his roots. He stayed true to himself. He believed in himself at all times, and he loved the people of Manchester, in particular City, even though we didn't always agree on that. He was just your typical down-to-earth lad, and he wore his heart on his sleeve.
You have to look around at all the people to see what he's like as a person. Everyone's come out for him, and it's brought Manchester to a standstill. And there's a lot of love and a lot of positivity knocking around. So good.
What's he like as a fighter, as a boxer?
He was the best, wasn't he? He was the best. I was just talking to someone around the corner about being out at the Mayweather fight in Vegas, and it was literally like Manchester was picked up and dropped in Vegas for those few days, So amazing to witness something like that, but such a humble chap and such a lovely bloke as well.